So I think we can even look further back in time. So if we look at 2008, when we had escalating violence against foreigners, a lot of that was fomented because of the sort of anti-foreigner sentiment which was spoken about, and it eventually erupted in terrible violence where people were beaten, stabbed, shot and burned alive. And so I think we have to take racist hate speech quite seriously. I think we do have to look at the content of the speech and put it in perspective as well. And I'm concerned that a lot of people that are being targeted as racists are being targeted as a diversionary tactic. So I think about someone like Penny Sparrow. What she says is undoubtedly racist. No one's going to stand up and defend the content of the speech. But there's no call to action. She's not saying that we need to go and exterminate anyone. Whereas what you find, you've got powerful politicians and organizations like Black First, Land First, stoking racial tensions in a very dangerous way. So there's calls for white people to be killed. You have people wearing that on their shirts or spraying that in graffiti on universities or actually burning buildings down. And I think we've got to keep our eye on this. The UN has an early warning system in order to prevent the outbreaks of serious violence. And one of the things that Solidarity is going to be doing is presenting a report to the Committee for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination by using this early warning system so that we can see what the concerns are, identify the racial hatred that's being fomented against minority groups in South Africa, and prevent it from breaking out into violence like it has in the past. Well, if we look at Solidarity's report, they've done this very careful analysis of the number of reports, and it does seem to be the case that nobodies like Penny Sparrow, who have 4.5 friends on Facebook and live in the middle of nowhere, get enormous amounts of attention, whereas political leaders like Julius Malema, who say that we shouldn't slaughter white people yet, get very little attention. And that seems like a problem. So I think it's important for journalists to identify how newsworthy is this? Is this just some ramblings of some unimportant person, or is this a person with power who can use that power for violent means, in which case it is newsworthy and it ought to be covered?